Hi, welcome to Severe Thunderstorm Outlooks. I'm meteorologist Ted Keller. I wanted to give you a winter heads up about 2 days of severe weather possibilities. This is being recorded on Thursday, and we'll start by looking at today's forecast and then move ahead to tomorrow's. As is the case with most weather systems, this system will shift east and southeast between today and tomorrow. So you're looking at now the visible satellite image, and we're seeing some pretty robust convection here. In the morning, it's often great because you can see the heights of the thunderstorms by the shadows that they cast on the last couple of frames there. You can kind of see that's kind of an interesting, fascinating kind of thing. But the bubbly look is basically pretty active convection going on here in Oklahoma. And you can also see there's just a broad rotation right here, both in the upper levels and in the lower levels. It's a pretty vigorous, what we would call a short wave, moving across the Great Plains. And we'll take a look at the radar here. This was recorded at 8 a.m. Thursday morning, so again, keep that in mind. But I did want to show you that, at least for today, there were already severe thunderstorm warning and tornado warnings issued just south and east of Oklahoma City. That's where the little red areas are. Those are tornado warnings that were issued for that area there as this squall line continues to evolve and move up toward the northeast. As a matter of fact, here were the severe weather reports this morning, including a couple of tornado reports. So just for context, Oklahoma City's here, Norman is here, Shawnee, Oklahoma is right here. So we had some wind gusts to 60 miles per hour. 1-inch hail was reported. 3/4-inch hail was reported as well. So that gives you an idea that the overall setup out ahead of this might be favorable for the same thing. It doesn't necessarily go that you can just take this activity and translate it. But in this case, at least for the next couple hours, that might be a possibility. We'll take a look now at the Storm Prediction Center official outlooks for today, for Thursday, zoomed in on that area. So we have a level 1 out of 5 for a broad brush that includes Indiana and Illinois, all of Missouri practically, all of Arkansas practically, and a pretty good chunk of Oklahoma too. And then we have that level 2, which is still referred to as a slight risk, that goes from roughly the Joplin area down I-44 basically, and a little bit south of Oklahoma City as well. And of course, you whittle away the back end of this as the thunderstorm line moves. And the tornado threat is at 5% in that corridor from Tulsa to south of Oklahoma City for today, and a broad 2% in that green area there. The only question I would have today is whether this would need to be tweaked a little bit more. We'll see how that develops. Let's take a look and see what the learning models say. So this is CSU's look for today. So it has more of a broad brush 5% outlook. That's that brown color that goes from central and southern Illinois down into the heart of Arkansas. So it's a little more generous with the tornado forecasting. And what it does show is that when the squall line kicks in this evening, the hail threat will increase from, let's say, St. Louis south to south central Missouri around West Plains, and same with the wind risk, that basic area there. So there might be two modes. There's the afternoon part that will affect southwest Missouri and Arkansas, and then in the evening when this becomes a little more of a squall line, that's when some of these other features will kick in. The NATO cast from this morning does show that corridor of 5% risk from Tulsa to Oklahoma City, and does extend the 2% risk into extreme western Missouri. Again, just keep an eye on that and see what these thunderstorms do. So here's a nice loop. This segues both from today to tomorrow. So this is the HRRR loop, and it does show these thunderstorms developing. And now we're going through the morning hours, and then tomorrow in this area here, we get more thunderstorm activity, a real tendency to get some linear patterns in here, and maybe some isolated supercells. I'd say those would be more likely down in the southeast through this period than they would be in this area here, but we'll have to watch everything, of course. And then this is the severe thunderstorm outlook for tomorrow, Friday. A large area of slight risk covering just about all of Mississippi, good chunk of Alabama and Louisiana, a small corner of Arkansas, level 1 surrounding that. The tornado risk down there is set at 5% from the SPC, from roughly Birmingham and those areas north of there, right through the heart of southern and central Mississippi, including Jackson, and then all the way down to Baton Rouge and parts of Louisiana as well. If we look at CSU's learning model for that, they're again a little higher on the probabilities for tornadoes. 10% is the yellow there, right around the Jackson, Mississippi area. Not too excited about hail down there, and wind again once the thunderstorm lines get going tomorrow, which would be Friday. This is being recorded on a Thursday. Thanks for watching. I'll probably have another one of this type of video issued tomorrow for any updates, and then we can let this severe thunderstorm thing go for a while. Again, this is not real common in the winter, but that's the exact reason why these videos are needed, because a lot of times, you're not really ready for this sort of stuff, especially in the Great Plains. South, you might actually be kind of sensitized to this type of activity in January near the Gulf Coast regions. Not as unusual, but I'll bring you another update as needed. Thanks for watching today's edition of Severe Thunderstorm Outlooks. This is published every day after the morning Storm Prediction Center update. Also, remember to check that site off on day one because they update it fairly frequently. If you like this video, please like it. Also, you can subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.